Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. Children, today we are going to do a science challenge. What are we going to do? We are going to do a science challenge. Are you all ready for it? Okay, that's great. But before that, we need to understand two new terms today. The first term is in front of you. Can you read this with me? What is it written? Variable. Now, what is this variable? Variable is something that is not fixed or constant. It keeps on changing over time. For example, your age, population of a nation, your class grades, length of legs, length of arm, etc. Now, why are these called variables? Children, the above examples are called variables because they varies among different people and it may change in value over time. For example, if we talk about your age, suppose you are 9 years old today. Do you think you are going to remain same even after 5 years? Your age is going to remain same after 5 years also? No, after 5 years you will be turning 14. Okay, and let's talk about length of legs. Suppose you are 9 years old today and length of your leg is 20 centimeters. Do you think it will remain same? It will remain same after 2 years? No, it will not remain same. You are going to, as you will grow, the length of legs will also grow. The next term which we have today is correlation. Now, what is this correlation? Students, correlation is a relationship between two or more variables. Okay, correlation talks about two or more variables. Now, there can be a positive correlation and a negative correlation. Students, a positive correlation is the one where both the variables are moving in the same direction. For example, as you grow, your clothing size also increases. Yes? So your growth and your clothing size are moving in the same direction. Okay? And a negative correlation is the one where one variable increases and the other decreases. Both the variable are moving in the opposite direction. Okay? An example of this could be okay, as you grow older, your hair growth starts declining. Okay, you must have seen your grandparents as they are getting older, their hair growth is declining. Now let's begin. Science challenge. Yes. Now my question to you is, for this science challenge is, do the people with the longest arms have the biggest heads? I repeat, do people with the longest arms have the biggest heads? Think about it. Okay, so this is the picture. Children, what is the first thing that comes to your mind while looking at this picture? Yes, these long arms. Can you see these long arms? Does anyone of you have long arms? If yes, then are you sure that you have a big head too? Yes, are you sure that you have a big head too? Well, it's quite a dicey situation now. It's a muddled situation. So what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? How can we find that the people with the longest arms have the biggest heads? Let's see further. Yes, a survey is going to help us out. This is what exactly you have to do. But this survey is going to be an independent survey. Do not get worried. Independent survey in the sense that all your decision making will be independent. I am not going to make decisions for you. You will be making decisions for your survey yourself. But before that, we need to think about some questions for planning a survey. So, my first question is, what measurements will you need to make? So, hint for you is, read this question again. Do people with the longest arms have biggest heads? Okay. So, you will get to know what measurements will you need to make. Children, I am not going to give you direct answers for planning this survey. You have to think of your own. We have done 2 previous sessions on planning a survey only. Okay. So my next question is, how many people will you survey? Your hint is, think of the surveys we did in last 2 classes. How many persons we surveyed then? Okay. My third question to you is, how will you record it? And your hint is columns and rows. My next question is, how are you going to conduct this survey in present situation? Do you know lockdown is going on and we cannot go out and we cannot even meet anyone? Then which device is going to help you out in such a tricky situation? Hint, your parents have this device with them. Okay. Next question is, which age group are you going to survey? Students, we have done this before also. So decision is entirely yours, but it has to be a single age group. You cannot take 2 age groups. You have to take a single age group. My next question is, are you going to disclose the names of the persons in your data? Hint. Students, remember privacy. We have talked about it in our last class. Where are you going to start your measurements from and where did you measure to? Your hint is, try to recall how I showed you to measure your specific body areas in previous class. For example, do you remember I showed you the length from the tip of index finger till our wrist area? I think you should go back to that video once again for answering this question. How precise your measurements are going to be? Well, I would like to give an answer to this. Your measurements are going to be nearest to centimeters and you have to round off your figures, measurements or numbers. As I have told you earlier also, if your measurement comes out to be, let's say 16.2, then you are going to round it off to 16 centimeters, and suppose if your measurement comes out to be 20.7, then you are going to round it off to 21 centimeters. Let's see next question. Which equipment do you all need? So hint for you is, you may include equipment such as pen, pencil, paper, but let me tell you, these would not be enough. You have to think more. Think about more equipment you need to use for this survey. How are you going to present your ideas? You are going to present your data through scattergrams. Students, I will show you how to make a scattergram later in this session. So, after you are done with your survey and you have recorded your data and you have made presentation also, the next thing which is very, very important is this conclusion which you are going to write. Conclusion is what? Your data interpretations. Okay. So your conclusion is going to include answer to these questions. Did the person with smallest head have the shortest arm length? Did the person with second longest arms have the second largest head? Which cross shows the person with longest arms, and are they the same person? Is there a general trend in which crosses are going? What can you say about correlation of data? Mention your equipment used in the conclusion. Okay. So students, be ready to present your research to the science conference at HD Foundation School page along with the answers to the questions asked for planning a survey, and your data interpretations, your presentation of data, your record of data in the form of conclusion. Thank you.